Only about 10% of the water that flows in the Colorado River makes it to Mexico. And at the Morelos Dam at the border, that water is diverted for use in agriculture. The river delta, which once extended another 160 kilometers to the Gulf of California, now ends here. And the once dynamic wetland habitat is now mostly sand, rocks, and invasive species. Miguel Vargas is Director of River Conservation with Pro Natura Noroeste, part of a coalition dedicated to restoring delta habitat piece by piece. He shows a section of dry riverbed the group is considering for its next project.
This is the Colorado River in Mexico.
When I see a site like this, it looks impossible.
It is possible, and you need not really too much water.
Vargas then shows a nearby restoration site where in less than 10 years, the group has grown a small forest of willow and cottonwood trees.
We try to copy the river flow.
The Raise the River Coalition receives river water from both the Mexican and U.S. governments, with a goal of creating a series of these sites to replace some of what has been lost to the river's overuse. Native trees and bushes are grown in nurseries and planted by the coalition and community volunteers. Gabriela Coloca Michel, a program coordinator for Pro Natura Noroeste, shows another older site.
It's really amazing when you create this habitat, how the response of the wildlife and birds can be. In the beginning, when we start at these sites, we found 5 species of birds. And now we find more than 100 species.
Other creatures are moving in also. And the sites are treasured by people from surrounding communities. The 9-year agreement between Mexico and the U.S. that has enabled the restoration of over 800 hectares of riparian habitat will expire and be renegotiated in 2026. Though demand for water along the length of the Colorado is increasing as the river continues to shrink, the binational restoration experiment is highly valued on both sides of the border, says Jennifer Pitt, the National Audubon Society's Colorado River Program Director.
I think there's broad acknowledgement and desire to ensure that as we adjust Colorado River management to reduce water uses, because we have to, not because anybody says we should, but because literally the water is not there, that we can also address these issues of equity and environment.
The benefits of cooperation and of doing more with less are flourishing here as a model for the Colorado River's future. Matt Dibble, VOA News, San Luis Rio Colorado, Mexico.